12 News. I'm Juan Cronkite. Yesterday's breaking news shocked the world as humans made their first encounter with an alien from a distant universe. Toop Toop of the Bystandian beings traveled from the planet Oopstudians in the Tadpole Galaxy 420 light years from Earth to give humanity a warning of providing a glimpse of what our world would look like in the year 2030.
Salutations, Earthlings. I am Toop Toop. I come to you at this moment in what you call time to warn you of your imminent self-destruction.
Every human on Earth received the same telepathic visions transmitted from Toop Toop through some technology we do not yet understand. These visions showed two possible futures. One in which there are few places with basic resources like water, electricity, food, and shelter. Racial unrest has continued and intensified. People are violently attacking each other based on their perceived difference, and everyone feels alone. In another vision of the future, a vaccine for COVID-19 has been found, and all humans on Earth have received it. We have greatly diminished our pollution and are working to replenish our resources and cleanse contaminated sites. Community is fostered and people largely live amongst each other peacefully with respect and admiration for their differences. All humans have access to clean water, food, shelter, healthcare, energy, education, and information. Tonight, in an exclusive interview with our very own Barbara Goodwoman, Toop Toop sits down and answers the question all people want to know. How do we create the future we want to live in and avoid the future we cannot survive? Here is that interview now.
Hello, Toop Toop. I want to start out by thanking you for being here and traveling so far to give us this important message.
Happy to be here.
Toop Toop, can you tell me why you have come to show us these possible futures? And why do you come to this year specifically? As it seems you can travel through time. Why not warn us of our mistakes before it has gotten as bad as it already is?
My people are observers of the world. We do not interfere with the primitive life form's natural development. We love humans most of all species, most for the music that you make. It is the most enjoyable sensation we have, to hear these waves humans create. So we have decided to give you a little guidance in hope that you continue to make these waves. We have no sense of time as you do. Our universe is continual and all at once. As yours is linear, we observe your universe's past, present, various futures, all at once. Many different futures we have seen, but the two I shared with you are most important for you to see.
Why this time, this year? Why not go back and warn us before colonization, before this period of Anthropocene, before slavery or the Holocaust or nuclear warfare?
You must make mistakes to really learn from them. There must be history to remember, to make sure you do not make the same mistakes you have had before. Right now, your world is at a critical point, where you are most connected to each other than ever before. Aware of your problems and already have the tools you need to make the changes you need to preserve your world right now. If you do not make those changes, in 10 years' time, you will be living the dystopian future I showed you, and eventually your whole world will die.
Why should we believe these futures you show us to be real? I know we all seem to feel that they're real, but how do we know you're not just making us feel that they're real?
You already know of your problems. You are protesting racism and police and brutality throughout the world. You are experiencing a pandemic that continually spreads, and people die as they do not have access to testing or health care. Your scientists have told you you are destruction to your planet. You have seen extinction, Many of you do not have clean water. Many of you starve, and all feel the climate changing. And you have prophesied the future I've shown yourselves.
What do you mean we have prophesized this future?
You have predicted your own future time and time again in your science fiction works. In your film, Book of Eli, you see a future where chaos rules and people mistrust each other and fight over resources. I Am Legend tells the story of a world where a virus has destroyed almost all of humanity. Your books, Handmaid's Tale, Kindred, 1984, Lunar Eclipse, Red Rising, The Road, the list goes on and on. They all warn you about possible futures.
So, what can you tell us about how to go about changing our future? How do we avoid this dystopian vision?
There are no easy answers, and many will have to give up privileges in order for all to live well.
Where do we start?
First, listen to yourselves. Reinvent the way you police yourselves. Dismantle the current system that revolves around the brute force and racial profiling. Create agencies that employ educated humans who have been trained how to defend humans rather than controlling them.
What about resources? How do we feed everyone? How do we clean up our mess? How do we stop polluting?
You already produce enough food to feed every one of you, but you waste 30 to 40% of all of it. Your distribution methods are inefficient, and climate change already has an effect on agriculture. You need to diversify your crops, grow organically, grow more locally, and educate people on how to grow their own food.
And the pollution? How do we stop global climate change?
Stop manufacturing products with materials like plastics that take millions of years to compost. Stop cutting trees. Plant more trees. Eat less meat. Only use reusable cups, plates, bottles, and bags. Make clothing that lasts longer with more sensible materials. You already know what to do.
But won't all that change stop the economy? People will lose jobs.
The economy, as you call it, works only to serve a very few of you. Most humans live without very basic necessities. Put people to work developing new sustainable systems of energy, agriculture, and product production.
And how will we do this?
You already have all the free energy you need. Use your sun. It already gives you energy to all life. Put solar panels on roads like you've already done in the Netherlands. Use tidal energy and wind turbines. Or how about harnessing wave energy? You already have all the solutions you need.
What about racism? How do we change how people have been raised and conditioned to believe?
Your governments, news media, and educational institutions are being controlled by corporations whose only directive is to continue the tradition of master and slaves. Change your elections from winner take all contest to ranked choice voting and vote with your conscience. Elect leaders that care about humanity. Rewrite your histories to convey the truths as closely as possible and teach your children tolerance and mutual aid tendency in their schools.
Religion plays a big part in how society acts. Already, your existence shatters long held belief systems. What do you say to those who feel like all hope is lost now that they have no longer believe that God will save them?
There is hope in yourselves. You will find it. I will quote your science fiction writer Octavia Butler from her book parable of the sower. Create no images of God except the images that God has provided. They are everywhere, in everything. God is changed. Sea to tree, tree to forest, rain to river, river to sea, grubs to bees, bees to swarm. From one, many, from many, one, forever uniting, growing, dissolving, forever changing. The universe is God's self-portrait. You must find hope in yourselves.
Okay, well, thank you, Tube Tube, for all your suggestions and for showing us that our path can be changed for the better. Is there anything else you would like to say to us?
More jazz, please. Many musicians have stopped playing music because they cannot support themselves or feel like their pursuit is futile if no one is listening. Don't let the music die. Thank you, Barbara and Toot Toot, for that enlightening interview. That's it for tonight. Tomorrow night, tune in for a press conference from the White House as President Trump steps down and Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is temporarily sworn in as this country's leader. I'm Ron Cronkite, FELT Channel 12 News, and that's the way it is.